fired.
Well, do you want to tell me, can you first talk about how we met?
We met here yesterday.
And we were just hanging out?
Just hanging out, visiting. Met somebody new in town.
And what was the thing that we talked about that kind of got us going?
School is what got us going, and then we got onto the subject that I'm taking criminal justice and trying to help out children.
Well, why would you do such a thing? Why, if the school system is perfect, why would you need to help children?
It's not so much just at the school system, it's the justice system for children.
And what's wrong with the justice system for children?
Nobody knows what they're doing.
Why not?
Because there's too many people making rules and nobody's following them. And nobody's looking out for the child's best interest, they're looking out for the state's best interest and what can the state get.
And what happens to the child in that case?
Well, I've done a report on several children, and out of the, let's see, 1, 2, 3, the 4 separate entities of the children, they're all deceased.
All the children are deceased?
Yes, ma'am.
Why is that?
Because of abuse and neglect that was reported to the state numerous times, but the state failed to step in and help those children.
So what, the kids fell through the cracks? Is that what you're saying?
They did.
They fell through what cracks? The system's cracks?
They fell through the system crack, they fell through the juvenile cracks, they fell through the DHS, the police department,
what about mental
the
health?
school system, the mental health.
And why, how did that happen? If there's rules in place and people in place to enforce the rules, then what causes failure of all systems where kids wind up dead?
A lack of communication. The right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing. And
can I point out something to you really quick?
Certainly.
Do you know that just historically and in ancient medicine, an ancient practice and ancient belief, the right side of the body is the masculine side of the body, and the left side of the body is the feminine side of the body? And you just said the right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing. So I want to back up just a second and then ask you, if those kids hadn't wound up dead, and was it ever suicide?
no.
Do you believe that those kids would have wound up dead and found another way to wind up dead later in life based on their childhood experiences?
Not if they got the right help that they needed.
Right, which is what?
Counseling, removal from the home, and given a chance to have a normal life.
But what's a normal life?
A normal life to me for a child would be a child that doesn't live in fear of abuse, who is fed, who has what they need, who has somebody that they can go to and talk to when it's necessary. They may not have all the financial gains of, oh, I've got all of this property or material things, but they have the basics that they need to survive.
And if you have a child that is neglected, which is essentially being told that they're not worth food or money or attention or time or help, what do you think happens to those kids?
And that's the other problem with our system is that we do not have a good foster care system set up. I'm not advising foster care for everyone, but there are children who do need to be removed and they do need to be put into a place where they are safe.
Okay, but you're saying now, I'm hearing that home is not a safe place for many kids.
That is right.
And can you just repeat why home is not a safe place for many kids when home is supposedly the safest place on earth?
Because they're being abused and neglected by parents, step-parents.
Abused how?
Physically abused, not fed, mentally abused.
Mentally how?
You're not worth this. There's a girl in one of my reports who was literally chained to the basement in a chair while her 2 stepsisters were allowed to pretty much do what they wanted at supper time. She was made to sit on the floor and eat. She was not allowed at the table.
Why is that?
Because she had a slight mental disability and her parents did not want to have to deal with her and teach her to sit at the table and eat correctly. So they
What was her mental disability? Was she born that way?
No, she ate paint chips because she was hungry and she ended up with lead poisoning.
And so
So-
Because she wasn't fed, she ate lead, which is toxic, which was in the home.
Yes.
And because of that, that resulted in brain damage, which made her home unsafe, which then made her unworthy of her parents' time and attention to help her live within the limitations that they provided her.
Correct.
Okay, I was just checking.